the thing we are going to be learning today, you are going to use the rest of the year. And I informed Mrs. Siddig and Mrs. Jones that we are learning it. So that means you might be using it in their rooms too for like reading RTI and stuff like that. So they know we're learning it. It is kind of, I don't want to say it's hard to understand. It just takes a moment to grasp it. But once you understand it, you'll be totally good to go. Pinky promise. Okay. So if you're at home, I'm going to share my screen, but I'm also going to bring you up front. So hopefully you can still see it up there. You're also still not where you need to be, Zachary. We are on our story from yesterday. Many ways to tell a story is what it's called. So put your head up. It is not nap time. It is reading class. We are not laying down. We are participating, being great students. Like I said, this is a new concept, so we should probably all be paying extra close attention because it is new. If you're at home, you can probably see my screen share of what is just on my smart board behind me. Whichever one's easier for you to look at, I don't really care. So what is on the board behind me or on your screen share at home is the Q chart. It has been on your Google Classroom since school started. I just posted it there right away. I've had lots of people ask me, well, what the heck is a Q chart, Mrs. Kneifel? Okay, my phone's ringing. Time out. I'm so popular. Hello? Yes. I actually do not right now. Is it possible for me to call you back? Oh, yeah, that's perfect. I will. All right, what's your number? Okay. Okay, I will give you a call later if that's okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, bye. Okay. All right. All right, we're back. Anyways, Q chart. I also have a Q chart right here. Mrs. Kneifel loves the Q chart, okay? And we're going to start using this all the time. Not every day, but we're going to be using it all the time. And the Q chart the Q stands for quadrant. There is a quadrant 1, which is yellow. Quadrant 2 is orange. Quadrant 3 is green. And quadrant... Did I just hear a noise?
I said red.
Okay. And quadrant 4 is red, okay? So there's my quadrant. So Q stands for quadrant. Everyone understand that? Q equals quadrant. And it's called a Q chart because this is a chart. Quadrant chart, okay? So as you can see, there are words on the left-hand side and then there are words at the top, okay? We have who, what, where, when, why, and how. What type of words are these? Evan? No. Onomatopoeia is like pop, bang, smash. Who, what, where, when, how, why. What type of words are those? Olive. Mark, how about you give me a try? Mark.
Question words.
Yes, they're question words. Who is a question word? What is a question word? Where is a question word? When, how, why. Those are question words. And then up here, these are just some words that help along question words. So a quadrant chart is used when you have to make a question. So quadrant 1 is remembering and understanding. Quadrant 1 is the easiest question. So if I ask a question, who and is, they meet together in quadrant 1. Who is a verbatim question, meaning it is just remembering and understanding. If I read a story and said, who was the character, you could tell me that. The character was Jack. There's no thought behind that. It's just a simple, easy question. So who, what, where, and when are all part of question 1 or quadrant 1, and then is, are, was, did, do, does, and can. So if I asked you when it was Labor Day, when and was be in quadrant 1. So when was Labor Day would be a quadrant 1 question, okay? And then how and why would be quadrant 3. And then these ones bring down, these ones bring down, and these ones bring down. And then these move over. So that's how they meet. So right now, if you're at home, you can use it there. If you're here, I'm going to ask a question. It has nothing to do with our story yet, just a regular question. Who should have recess today? What quadrant is who should have recess today? If I ask you that question, who should, is it in quadrant 1, 2, 3, or 4? Where do those who and should meet? What quadrant do they meet in? Who and should, where do they meet? Marissa, what quadrant do they meet in? 2. Here is who and here is should. They meet right here. Who should is a quadrant 2 question. Okay? We don't need to answer that. I'm just giving you examples. If I said, why might Mrs. Kneifel be tired today? Where is why might? What quadrant is why might in? What quadrant is why might in? Rochelle. 4. Yes, here's why and here's might. That is a quadrant 4 question. And if you're wondering, well, why are they in different quadrants? Quadrant 1 questions are the easiest questions to answer. Quadrant 2 questions are a little bit more challenging to answer. Quadrant 3 are definitely harder. And if you're answering a quadrant 4 question, those are the hardest types of questions to answer. So if we're talking about depth of knowledge, that is how you say the difficulty of a question. So if I'm like, oh, that's a depth of knowledge question 1, it would be in quadrant 1. If I say, oh, that's going to be hard, it's a depth of knowledge 4, the question's going to be in quadrant 4. So this is how the quadrant works. 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy, well, simple, kinda, harder, super hard, okay? That is how questions work. So as we continue on in 5th grade, you guys are going to be thinking of your own questions, okay? It's not always going to be Mrs. Kneifel thinking of the questions for you to answer. Sometimes you're going to think of questions, and you are going to use the cue chart. So if I say, make a Q1 question for today's day, you could say, question, who is missing today? It'd be Lillian. So who and is, that's a quadrant 1 question. That's easy peasy, okay? But if I said, make a quadrant 3 question about today's, that would be a little bit harder because you have to use these words, okay? What questions do we have so far? Marissa.
Who is the cat?
No. Questions about it. What questions do we have about using the cue chart so far? I promise, we're going to get lots and lots of practice out of it. We're going to do practice right now, Zach.
Why is 1 and 2 bigger than 3 and 4?
Because those words are like simpler words. It's just that there's a lot of remembering and understanding questions. These are harder, so there's just less. Okay? Because how and why are analyzing and like applying words. They're not just verbatim remembering and understanding, okay? So they're harder, so they're smaller. Any questions? If not, I'm going to ask you a question from our story yesterday, and using your dry erase board or my chat, you're going to write down the answer. But also with the answer, you're going to write a number. That number is going to be which quadrant it's from, okay? Let me get my book. Okay, so remember, you're going to answer the question and you're going to tell me the quadrant. So, question number 1. What was the title of the story we read yesterday? If you're at home, you can have the story. You're writing it down. I don't want your hand up. I want you to write it down and I want to see a number. If you're at home, you can open up HMH story so you have it if you would like. So you're telling me the answer and you're writing the number it came from. Rochelle, you are correct. You may put yours down. What was the title of the story? You're answering. Yellow is not a title of the story. Okay, I said put a number, so you're not following my directions, so try again. You are correct, Landon. Put it down. You may put it down. You may put it down. You may put it down. Good, Olive.
Can I put it down?
Yes. Okay, now you are good, Evan. Try again. And you need the title. This would be when you need your story to be open, Kylan. This is when you would need the story open, Julian, because that is not the title. What was the title? Good, Mark, you're good to go. You can put yours down. And what quadrant? So you should have the answer and the number. What was were my question words. What was? Which quadrant is that coming from? If you have not answered, I need an answer soon. Olivia, you're good to go. Isaac, Avery, Jessica, Isla, Ava, Nolan, Julian, Ella, Kylan, I'm waiting for your guys' answers. Yes, but now what quadrant is it from? Yes, but what quadrant is it from? Jessica, you're correct. Avery, you only gave me half an answer. Isla, you only gave me half the answer. All right. Everyone, what quadrant was it from? One, because it was what and was. If I put my hand in was and my hand on what and I bring them together, they meet in quadrant one. So quadrant one, and the title was Many Ways to Tell a Story. If you had your book open, you should have easily known that, okay? Your next question is coming to you. Same thing. You're going to give me the answer and the quadrant, okay? Answer and the quadrant. When might you have seen a play? When might you have seen a play? This is a question for you. When might have you have seen a play? So your answers are going to be different. But all of you should have the same quadrant. When might you have had seen a play? What's up? So your answer is going to be different, but your quadrant will be the same. When might you have seen a play? We talked about this yesterday, so. Olive and Marissa, good. Jack, good. Molly, good. Try again, ma'am. Your quadrant is incorrect, Julian. I cannot read your answer, but check your quadrant again, okay? It's when might. So find when and find might and see where they meet. Ava, you're correct. Good job, Landon. Mark, you're good. Olivia, you're good. Rochelle, you're good. Now you're good, Julian. Jessica, good to go. When might you have had seen a play? Yeah, I don't want you to rewrite the question. You're answering the question. You're writing the quadrant and you're answering the question. Isaac, good. Actually, that'd be where might, not when, but that's besides the point, Isaac. Isla, good. All right, everyone. Here is when, and here is might. Where do they meet, everyone? Two. you guys said, you saw it last year at the school, or you saw it blah, blah, blah. So your answers were all different. It's just when you saw a play last. Then it should have been quadrant 2. Next question. Yeah, I have some right here. You don't have any. I'm thinking. Hold on. Sorry. I'm thinking. What is one thing different from an ebook and a regular book? What is one thing different from a regular textbook and an ebook? What is? You're writing the quadrant and one answer. We gave like 3 examples yesterday. What is? Okay, but what about the answer to that? I don't want to see your board until you have both answers, the quadrant and the answer to the question. That's what is one difference? First off, that's not how you spell tech. I will accept that. I cannot read what you wrote besides the cute part. You are good, Rochelle. You're good, Zach. You're good, Molly. You're Ava and Kylan, you're good. Mark, you're good. Olivia, you're good. I have no idea what your answer is, Evan. What is the recipe? What does a recipe have to do with an ebook or a textbook? Absolutely nothing. Olive and Julian, you're good. You need to at least figure out the quadrant, Ella. You've yet to show me an answer. Isaac, that is correct. That's fine. Yeah, what's the difference between an ebook and a book? I know one's an ebook because I told you one's an ebook. What's something that's different between them? An ebook can be a story though, okay, bud? But you got the quadrant right. All right, everyone, what quadrant is this in? 1. Here's what and here is. What is meets in yellow, quadrant 1. And some differences are an ebook will read to you. You can click on a word on your ebook and it'll say it to you. You do not have to physically turn pages in your ebook. You have to click a button. And I'm sure there's like 20 other things that I'm forgetting, but those are some differences. Lots of you had different differences. That's something to remember. How does a song tell a story? How does a song tell a story? Feel free to use your book if you don't know the answer. How does a song tell a story? How does? Zach, your quadrant. Oh, wait, yeah, you're right. You can erase. You can erase Julian. I suppose I'll take that, Evan. Jessica, I'm pretty sure you were right. You're right, Rochelle. There's not props in a song, Olive. Kylan, you're good.
There we go.
Nolan, you're good. Molly, you're good. Olive, you're good. Or, I mean, Olivia. I meant Olivia. You need to at least tell me the quadrant right now. I want a number right now. So write it right now. And then show me your board. Good, Isla. Landon, you're fine. Avery, good. Good, Mark. You're fine, Olive. Okay, I don't want you to write words. I just want you to write the quadrant right now. Write the number now. In the next 5 seconds, I want to see your answer for the quadrant. So look at my board and find the quadrant right now. How does. Find how and find does. Where do they meet? What quadrant number? You're out of time. Write a number right now and show me. Thank you. All right, next one. Wait, what quadrant was that, everyone? 3. How and does. Yep. All right. Next one. When could you listen to music? When could you listen to music? What quadrant? And answer the question for me. This question is going to be another one that, Evan, if you can't see the quadrant, open it up on your computer. I've already said that it's on your Google Classroom and that it's been there since the beginning of school. But you're squinting awfully hard. When could you listen to music? Perfect, Molly. That's a good answer, too. Good, Landon. Good, Rochelle. When could you listen to music? Try again, Olive. You have the wrong quadrant, but your answer is correct. Jessica, you are correct. Mark, you are correct. Olivia, you are correct. U-Z-I-C is not a word. See a U, a Z, I, and a C. Avery, you're correct. Zach, good. All right, I'm seeing everyone with their, no, Olive. Find when and find could. Isla, you're good. And Julian, you're good. Ava, good. Music has an S, but yeah. Kylan, you're good. Thank you, Olive. All right. What quadrant was it, everyone? 2. And you can listen to music in the car, at home, anytime, really. Just, whenever it's the appropriate time is when you can. All right. What is next? Why should you read books? Why should you read books? Why should you read books? Nolan, you are correct. Olive, wrong quadrant. Good one, Landon. Why should you read books? You can get better at what? Swimming? Isaac, good to go. Julian, good. Molly, good. Olive, find the correct quadrant. Why and should. Rochelle, good. Evan, you're good. You're good, Ava. Isaac, you're right. Mark, you're right. Olivia, you're right. Thank you, Olive. Good, Kylan. Everyone, what quadrant is it from? 4. And you should read books because reading books makes you a better writer. It broadens your vocabulary. It gives you AR points, etc., etc., all those fun things. So, what questions are we currently having about our Q chart? Is anyone having any questions over what we have been doing so far? If not, I'm going to explain your small assignment that you have today, okay? As I'm creating it. So I'm going to talk through it while we're here. So on your Google Classroom, in just a minute, because it's not there yet, you're going to have an assignment, okay? It is going to be a 1-question assignment. You're going to use the story, Many Ways to Tell a Story, and you're going to write me 1 question, 1 answer, and tell me the quadrant, okay? So you're going to have 3 parts. Question, answer, quadrant. Okay, so the instructions are, I'm just going to read them to you as I write them. Please use the story, Many Ways to Tell a Story, to make a Q chart question, period. So that is the story you're going to be using. You must write 1 question in a complete sentence, period. You must write the answer to your question. So whatever question you're asking, just make sure you know the answer to it. You must write the answer to your question. Sorry, technical difficulties over here. In a complete sentence. Lastly, you must write the number for which quadrant your question came from. Does that make sense? So I don't care what quadrant it's coming from as long as you know what quadrant. So you're going to make the question, make the answer, write the quadrant. That is going to be worth, question is worth 1 point plus the capitalization plus the punctuation. That's 3 points. Answer, capitalization, punctuation, the actual answer, and the quadrant. So this is going to be worth 7 points. And it is going to be due tomorrow by 7:45 a.m. Does anyone have any question? If you're at home and you have a question, unmute yourself and ask me. Oops. If you have a question, please be sure to ask me. It is going to be posted in 1 minute. So you write the question, you write the answer, you write the quadrant it came from. Remember, you're using our story. It can be any question from the story. It can literally be a question I asked yesterday. Write it down, write down the answer. At least I'll know you were paying attention. Evan. Sure. All right, I'm about to post it right now. You are free. Evan, if it's already at your desk, you do not have to ask. I'm pretty sure I talked to you guys about that the other day. Have it at your desk. Eat it when you need to eat it. The Q chart is already on your Google Classroom. If you go to classwork and scroll down, it literally says Q chart. So you have it at home with you. All of you in school have it right now. If there are no questions, you may get started on your homework right now. We are going to end reading. It is due by tomorrow. You're writing 1 question. You're writing one answer. You're telling me the quadrant. Goodbye.